We all think we know what contentment looks like: a bigger house, a shiny car, a promotion at work. But is happiness really just about what we own? In today's story, we meet David, a man whose life is filled with all the trappings of success. But despite it all, something feels deeply wrong. His journey begins with a mysterious conversation that will leave you on the edge of your seat, making you question everything you thought you knew about contentment. Stay with us as we explore the surprising twist in David's life, where he discovers that contentment isn't found in what you have, but in how you view it. David sat in his pristine home office, staring at the glowing screen of his computer. The numbers were their accounts brimming with more than he ever thought possible, a thriving business under his belt. And yet, something was missing. He had all the symbols of success: a luxury car, a beautiful house in a quiet suburb, a stunning view from his window. But each day, he felt an unexplainable emptiness gnawing at him. On the surface, everything was perfect. His neighbors envied him, his colleagues admired him, and his family praised his achievements. But deep down, David felt like a hollow shell. It was as if all the things that should have made him happy only made him more aware of the void inside. One morning, as David sat on his balcony sipping coffee, an elderly man appeared next door. He hadn't noticed a new neighbor move in, and something about the man struck him as different. He wasn't like the other people in the neighborhood who showed off their wealth or tried to outdo each other with their expensive tastes. The man lived in a modest house. His car was nothing special, and yet, every morning, he would smile, wave, and go about his day with a quiet sense of peace. One evening, when the two met by chance on the street, David couldn't help but ask, "What's your secret? You seem ... content. How do you do it?" The old man smiled, wrinkles crinkling at the corners of his eyes. "Secret," he said, his voice gentle. "There's no secret. I just learned it a long time ago, that contentment isn't about what you have, but how you view it." David frowned. How you view it? What could that possibly mean? "Take a look around you," the old man continued. "I see people in this neighborhood with beautiful homes, expensive cars, and prestigious jobs, but how many of them are truly happy? It's not the things you have that bring contentment. It's appreciating the small moments, the simple joys. Most people spend their lives chasing more, thinking that's where happiness is. But happiness is here, right now, if you choose to see it." The conversation stirred something in David, but he wasn't ready to let go of his old way of thinking just yet. How could someone with so little be so content, while he, with so much, was still searching for meaning? The questions plagued him for days. One night, as David lay awake in bed, the weight of his restlessness bore down on him. He rose quietly and walked downstairs, slipping out the back door into the cool night air. His gaze drifted to the modest house next door, where a dim light flickered through the window. Without thinking, he walked over and knocked softly on the door. The old man answered, looking unsurprised to see him. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked, stepping aside to let David in. They sat in the quiet of the old man's cozy living room, the soft glow of a lamp casting warm shadows on the walls. "I've been thinking about what you said," David confessed. "I want to understand, but ... I don't know how." The old man nodded, as if he'd heard this before. "Contentment doesn't come from having the most," he said. "It comes from seeing what you already have, through a new lens." He reached for a small, framed photograph on the table beside him. "This is my wife," he said, his voice soft. "We didn't have much, but we had each other. We built a life together, not with things, but with memories. That's where the real wealth is." David stared at the picture, the simplicity of the man's words slowly sinking in. His own life flashed before him, not the business deals or the material possessions, but the fleeting moments of joy he had overlooked. His wife's laughter on a quiet evening, the way the morning sun lit up his backyard, the comforting scent of fresh coffee. These were the moments that truly mattered, the things he had taken for granted in his pursuit of more. As the days passed, David began to look at his life differently. He still had his success, his house, and his car. But now, he found joy in the simple things, the way the leaves rustled in the breeze, the sound of rain tapping against the window, the warm embrace of his loved ones. He no longer measured his happiness by what he owned, but by how deeply he appreciated what was already there. Thank you for joining us on David's journey. Through his story, we learn a powerful lesson. Contentment is not found in the size of our bank accounts or the grandeur of our possessions. It's found in how we view the world around us, in the simple joys we often overlook. As David discovered, true happiness comes when we stop chasing more and start appreciating what we already have. We hope his story inspires you to see your own life through a new lens. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to cherish the small moments that bring you peace and contentment.